Hey guys, this is Spencer from Builderpreneur, and this is going to be one of my favorite videos this year because we are focusing on high ticket affiliate marketing. We're talking how to make $500, $1,000, or $5,000 on a single commission with affiliate marketing. And it's obviously a very different strategy than what we'll traditionally talk about. The way you get someone to buy a $5,000 or a $10,000 product is simply not the same way you get someone to buy a $50 or a $100 product. And so we're going to talk about the specific product process that we use to get $5,000 commissions in a single go, right? Your entire months of income in a single go. Okay, you can see on the screen here just to show that this method works and things like that. This is a product that I'm promoting, very similar to this. $748 in a single commission, $598 in a single commission. Okay, one customer you can see on each of those. So very powerful methods to make 10, 20, 30% of your month's income in a single go. All right, so let's talk about what affiliate marketing is and kind of what differentiates it from the traditional affiliate marketing that everyone's kind of trying and doing and spamming the internet with. And I do a lot of it myself, not spamming the internet. So what affiliate marketing is in the high ticket sense is, everyone's got their own definition, but anything that costs to me $1,000 or more. So if it's $1,000 or more for the user to buy, then you've gone into the high ticket affiliate marketing world. Anything below $1,000, you can typically get an impulse buyer to buy, which kind of sounds crazy, but impulse buyers will buy anything $900 and less. But once you start to break that four-figure mark and get into $1,000 or higher than $1,000, you start to get into a different realm where people aren't just going to impulsively buy anymore. And they're not going to watch a video, get emotional, and click buy. They tend to need a little more, and what they really tend to need is a relationship.
You met someone
online.
They tend to need somebody they trust, talking to them, working things through with them, helping them overcome issues they might have or concerns they might have, because obviously it's a lot more money and people at some point start to do a little more due diligence before they spend their hard-earned money. So the key to high-ticket affiliate marketing is going to be that. It's going to be finding a way to establish relationships with people and then utilizing those relationships to be able to sell to them. It's a lot more salesy than traditional affiliate marketing, but obviously the reward is a lot higher as well. I want to go over the big picture to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to build an outline right here. We're going to go over the big picture of what we're going to teach here. Like I said, this is going to be a cool video, so keep watching. We're going to teach the whole thing right here in big picture, and then we're going to dive into specific points, okay? So we'll break it down into individual pieces and show you how each of those individual pieces work and things to avoid and things to do as you're working on those individual pieces. So step one is we're actually going to create content. I know, crazy. For all types of affiliate marketing, you've got to create content. And you can create content all over the internet, but essentially we're going to put out content that is built to help us get leads and get authority and build relationships and all that stuff. So step one is we're going to have to create content. Step two is at some point people are going to start reacting to our content. Okay, whether they're replying directly to us or they're commenting or doing something, they're going to start having a reaction to our content, and we're going to start connecting and building relationships with these people. Okay, those that are clearly seeing our content, enjoying our content, and wanting more of our content, we're going to start building a relationship with them. Step three is we're actually going to get them into a conversation, okay? And this can happen online or this can happen in person, which is typically better. But somehow we're going to get an actual conversation happening with these leads that we've turned into leads now, and we're going to start selling in this conversation. And then fourth is we're going to ask for the sale, okay? We're going to do an actual real life sale where we actually tell somebody, hey, would you like to buy this product? Or I think you need to buy this product. Will you make the purchase? Okay, a sale. Okay, now we're going to dive in and we're going to look at each individual point here and talk about exactly how we make this work. Before I start, I want to give you 3 quick pointers. For any of this to work, you've got to know your product really well. Okay, whatever the affiliate product is you're selling, you can't just be passively like, I heard it's pretty good, or I peeked around for 20 minutes. You've got to know the ins and outs of the product. You need to know exactly what problem it solves and how it solves that problem. And you need to know the audience, okay? You need to know exactly who it is that this product is best built to help and to solve their problems. If you know that, you know exactly who this product is best for. You know exactly what the product is and what's inside of it and how it can help that audience. You'll do so much better as you start to have these conversations with people. So there's the side note. Let's dive into step 1, content. Now, I'm not going to tell you one platform works better than the other. I mean, certain platforms work, better at certain times for different people. But for me, I like to do YouTube. I know a lot of people use this on Facebook, and it works very, very well for them. And that's probably the fastest route to getting your first, $1,000 commission, is doing this on Facebook. But what we need to do here is we need to create content, and so on Facebook, that's just posts, right? This doesn't have to be you making a video or you writing a 2,000 word blog post. This is just simple Facebook posts. Both Facebook posts and comments, okay? Content can be a comment, can be taking someone else's content in question and creating a little piece of content around that. But what our content is built to do, one, it needs to appeal to this target audience, okay? So when you're creating this content, you've already got an affiliate product in mind. You know exactly who that product is best built around helping. And so all of your content has got to be very, very geared to that single idea. Does my content directly appeal to the exact audience, the exact person who will most benefit from this product, okay? And who's got the money to buy this product as well, right? That's a piece of it, obviously, as well. And the next thing is, does my content help position me? And every piece of content doesn't have to do this, but think of this as a big picture of content. Does it help position me as an authority and as a trustworthy person? Okay? Because at some point, we've talked about we're gonna get them on the phone. We want them to get on the phone pre-framed, already trusting us, already believing that we have their best interest in heart, that we're not out to just make money on them, but we're actually out to help them. And pre-framed to believe, hey, this person knows what they're talking about. I should trust them if I want to achieve what they are already achieved or they're currently achieving. Okay, what we're looking on the screen right now at is a sample of this post, okay? Because a lot of people tend to overcomplicate this. They try to write huge value posts that are miles long and have check marks and smiley faces and all this stuff, right? And that tends to turn people off a lot, especially now as this is kind of becoming more common. But here's a simple value post I did the other day. Total keywords going down, total traffic going up, the beauty of niching down. Boom, okay? So super simple lesson. Hey, you need to have a niche, right? And obviously this is my own group, so I'm selling as well. And I would definitely say to build your own group to do this in, because there are rules in groups like mine where you can't do a lot of this stuff. So building your own group is the best option here, but you can do this on your own page. That's your own group, right? Your own page is your own, no one can take that away from you except Facebook, I guess. But something this simple, okay? Total keywords down, traffic going up. What I've done is I've positioned myself as an authority in blogging, okay? Hey, I know what I'm talking about blogging. And I'm gonna tell you this, one post isn't gonna do it. One post, someone's like, oh, cool. But if you post every day you're posting something about blogging, you're teaching about it, you're showing a little value thing like this, a little screenshot every single day, and you're commenting on other posts in this Facebook group, okay? So I'm going through here and I'm searching, and every time someone types in the word blog in my Facebook group or in this Facebook group, right? If it's a blog course that I'm selling or a blog training, I'm going through and I'm constantly replying to everybody that's asking questions about blogging. Like, oh, hey, you should try this. Oh, hey, you should try this. And then I'm posting in the group as well, and I'm posting on my own profile as well. I'm building this rapport, right? I'm building this guy always talks about blogging. This guy knows about blogging. I trust this guy. He's an authority on blogging, okay? So that's how this is done. It only takes a matter of a few weeks. If they see your posts every single day, you're writing engaging, good posts, and they're seeing you comment in the groups they're in about blogging, it does not take a long time to start to build this authority in people's minds of, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about in this subject matter. Okay, so we're gonna start pushing this content out, right? The next thing we need to do is start bringing people into conversations, and this will happen naturally in your content. You'll have people just straight up reach out to you like, hey, you keep talking about blogging, can you help answer this question for me? Or, hey, I have a question about this. And they'll just come to your inbox and show up there and be ready to start talking with you. That's obviously golden and awesome. Other times you're gonna have to post engaging posts that have calls to action. So on your own personal profile, you could post something that says, hey, just like what I just did with that blogging post, you could say, hey, check out this results from blogging. And you can't do this in groups, okay? On your own profile, you can do this. DM me if you want to learn more, or comment below if you'd like to learn a little bit more about this, or comment below if you're interested in starting a blog, okay? That easy. You're not spamming because it's your own profile. These people chose to be friends with you and to follow you, and you'll start to get a lot more responses that way, okay? You'll say you get 10 comments after 3 weeks. Hey, I'm interested in starting a blog. Boom, we've got 10 people. We've got 10 people that have said, hey, I'm now your lead. I'm ready. I'm interested. This is something I've been interested in, and let's proceed forth. Now, there's a couple different ways people do this. to me, this is where it's the weed out stage, okay? Because there's a lot of people that are going to kick your tires. They're not planning on spending any money. They have no desire to spend any money. Maybe they don't even have any money to spend.
I got no money.
But there's a lot of tire kickers that'll come out of the woodwork here, right? They're just scrolling Facebook and like, oh, I want to start a blog. I've always wanted to start a blog. And then they go back to scrolling Facebook. And those are tire kickers, and you don't want to spend a ton of time on them. So there's two ways you can do this. One is to send people through what's called a quiz funnel, okay, or a survey funnel. You can see a little simple one right here. All it does is it tries to establish that they're serious, okay? So questions you could ask could be, what's your income goal? It could be, how seriously have you taken this? Like what have you already tried? So for example, if someone's trying to lose weight and you're doing a weight loss product and you say, what have you tried already? And they tell you, I haven't tried. I've never tried any kind of weight loss at all. That might not be a very warm or a great lead because they haven't tried anything. And typically people need to try a few things and try themselves and realize that they just can't do it on their own before they're willing to fork out a lot of money to have somebody help them with something. So if someone says, I haven't tried, there's probably a motivation issue there, or there's an issue where you're going to struggle to talk to them and to sell to them because they haven't seen, they think they can do it themselves at this point. They just haven't tried. So a question like that, like what have you tried? A question could be, how serious are you about this opportunity? 0 to 10. Are you willing to pay? Like straight up throw that out there. Are you willing to pay to receive help on this opportunity? Do you think it's worth it to pay money? You can even ask, well, this is too specific. I've never asked this, but what's in your bank account? How much money do you have to pay? But you could do a 5-question survey like this that puts them through. So when someone comments and says, hey, I'm interested, like, okay, I'd be happy to hop on a phone call with you. Go ahead and schedule it. Just fill out the survey to schedule your call. Survey takes a minute, and if they're not willing to put a minute into a survey, there's a good chance they're not willing to do a lot of other things too, like give you money and buy a course and things like that. So you put people through the survey, and then you don't have to even start having a conversation with someone until they've proven that they're somewhat serious. And for you can decide what exact questions you want to ask. But don't get too crazy, right? Don't do a 20-question survey or something like that, but a few questions to just weed out the tire kickers and the people that clearly are just like, I just commented because it was fun. Okay. Or you can directly connect with them and start selling on Messenger if you don't want to do this. And you can do this exact same thing with Messenger. Like hop on a quick Messenger chat and say, hey, just checking in. Saw that you commented that you're interested in starting a blog. How serious are you about this? Oh, okay. Have you tried anything in the past? Oh, you have. You've tried 3 different things. Okay. Have you paid any money or anything like that? Oh, are you willing to? Are you open to something like that? Okay, So now we've done the weed out phase. That's the next step of these leads, right? Taking out the people and only getting the serious people to really invest your time in. Now, some people do this next part still over Messenger. They do the entire sale over Facebook Messenger or chat or something like that. Totally possible. I think you'll have a better shot at it on a phone. But people do this over Messenger. So if you're someone that's just not willing to get on the phone with someone, that's fine. This is possible over Messenger. Just know you'll probably have less conversions over Messenger than you would getting on the phone with somebody. So we're going to talk about it as if you're on the phone, but you can do this in Messenger. So you're going to start asking questions. Every call or conversation starts with questions. So you'll never be able to effectively sell to somebody and have a relationship with somebody, which is important to the sale, until you understand them. So you need to ask questions to understand, well, why is it that you want the blog? And the answer is not going to be, oh, I want money. The answer is going to be deeper than that, right? So every answer will typically require you to dig. So you see this picture of an iceberg on the screen. As you can see, the iceberg's got a little bit above the water and a ton below the water. And that's typically how people are as well. They're going to tell you the tip of that iceberg, but realistically, there's this whole complicated person underneath there, with all these you can't see, and it's got all these intricacies and all these true reasonings and these desires and problems, and you need to try to dig into this iceberg and discover what all of these are if you're going to effectively help them. So you can ask questions like, what have been your struggles with trying this in the past? Why do you think you failed in the past at this? How does your wife feel about all this? Okay, and these questions are open-ended, and we're doing a few things here. We're trying to learn them and their desires. We're trying to figure out who they are as a person and what their real desire is, because as we talk to them about this, whatever this high-ticket product is, right, it needs to be tied into their desires, how it's going to help them achieve their real desires. And once again, now we understand why it's so important for us to know the product, because we need to understand exactly how the product is actually going to do that. We also want to stir up the pain a little bit. Okay? We want them to kind of remember the last year and how hard it's been and how they've been trying to do this and haven't been succeeding and how frustrating it's been for them, because as you stir up that pain, it helps them to see and look back and say, okay, I do need, helps them to see the need for something more or some more help. Make sure your questions aren't yes or no questions, because that's not a conversation, and that's a conversation killer, in fact. So don't say something like, do you feel like this? Okay, that's a leading question, and it's yes or no, and they can cop out and be lazy and not really have a conversation with you. So a much better question would be, how does that make you feel? Something else to note with these questions we're asking is we're actually determining if the product is a good fit for them. Okay, so you determine if this person actually is going to be helped by this product, and if they're not, and it doesn't really align with who they are and what their goals are, you need to be able to pull out and say, okay, this isn't for you. We're going to move on, and I was going to talk about this product, but it's fine. I can still help you and we can be done, because that's just ethical marketing. So these questions are going to help you determine, okay, this person is perfect, or this person may or may not be perfect, or hey, this person doesn't need this product at all. Throughout this conversation, you're going to be putting stories into the conversation. Okay, you're going to be telling stories about your own personal life and how, if they give a problem they have right now, you might talk about how you overcame a similar problem. If they talk about a hurdle that they had, you might talk about a similar hurdle you had that you either overcame or are working on overcoming. The stories are going to be a huge part of you building rapport and helping them to kind of bridge the gap between where they are and where they want to be, using your story. And finally, once you've had this conversation, you've asked the questions, you've talked to them a little bit, it's time for the sale. And there are entire courses and masterminds built around just making this sale work, right? In fact, there's a link down below too, if you want to apply for a mastermind that I'm part of, where they talk in high detail about everything that we're talking about here. But the sale, there's really just a few keys that you have to understand to not completely flop. The biggest one is you've got to ask for the sale directly. So many people get nervous at this point and they start to waffle around and be like, well, no pressure. It's there's something that I've been part of for a while, and it's been pretty decent, and once again, I don't want to force you or anything like that. And they start to just kind of whiffle and waffle around, and it takes 2 or 3 minutes to get out the simple question like, hey, will you buy this? Or, hey, I think this is what you need. Are you willing to invest the money into this if it can solve your problem? Okay, a very, very simple sale, a couple sentences long, or even just 1 sentence long. But when you come to the time to sell, you just need to do it. You just need to spit it out and then wait for them to respond to you. And then when they don't respond, don't sit there and waffle around again. Okay, don't spit it out and then look around a few times and say, oh my gosh, they haven't responded in 4 seconds. It's time to go crazy, right? And just start talking about how much it helped you and how no pressure and how you were just trying to help them, and these awkward things that we do a lot of times as people that don't end up helping us and don't end up helping them either. They're probably a lot of times going to have objections, right? They're going to say, oh, okay, how much is it? $1,500. Oh, I can't afford $1,500. I straight up don't have it, which may be the case, and you might need to respect that. Or you might be able to say, hey, I know you spend $500 on coffee a month. Maybe we could cut our coffee budget for 2 or 3 months. So there's 2 different sides to that. Or it may be like, hey, if I cut this, my kid's not going to have breakfast tomorrow morning, in which case you need to pull out. But you're going to have to overcome some objections, and there are all kinds of things. The most common one is oh, I've got to talk to my partner, or it's too expensive. And that's just something to be talked through, right? Hey, well, if your goal is this, is it worth it to you if it actually helped you achieve your goal? And they might say yes, and they might say no, and if they're like, no, it's just not that much money, it's just too much, period. And okay, that's fine. But if you can get them to say, yeah, that my goal is to lose 50 pounds, and you say, if this training or this coaching program does help you lose 50 pounds, would that cost be worth it to you? And if they're like, yeah, it would be, then you know, well, okay, the issue is they don't believe that it can necessarily help them, and you can dive in again, resume the conversation. Oh, okay, well, where do you think the hang up is? Why you think this might not be able to help you, or do you think that you might not commit enough time? And you resume conversation, right? And really get to the heart of what their problem is. And a lot of times it'll be like, it's me, I'm probably not going to put in the time. Oh, okay, well, what if I one-on-one helped you as well, and I became your accountability partner or something like that? You can have this conversation and customize it to them. So once again, we're going to do the sale, and then we're going to go over some objections with them. And a lot of times on that call, you still might not get the sale. Like sometimes you will, but sometimes you won't. And then you just want to get some commitment from them, something. Okay, you want them to commit to something, and that could be, hey, I want you to talk to your wife and see what they say about this, or talk to your husband and see what they say about this. And if they think that this is a good idea, are you willing to go with it? Or, hey, I want you to like see if you have the schedule, or see if you have the budget, or check your account, or wait till whatever it is that they're waiting for. And if that one hurdle is overcome, are we in? So you want them to make some kind of micro commitment on at this point in the journey. And then obviously you'll have to have another conversation with them down the road that you'll lock in right then. Like, okay, can we talk in a week and see where that can go? And most people will be like, yeah, let's chat again in a week. All right, so this is very, very different than a typical video that I put out. This is high ticket sales. This is how high ticket sales is done both in the affiliate industry and outside of the affiliate industry. It's probably the fastest way to make a full-time income with affiliate marketing. Now I'm going to tell you 2 places you need to go next. The first one is if you really are interested in this version of selling and this way of doing things. The best place to learn it is through a mastermind hosted by Jacob Caris, so you can see on the screen here. A lot of what I talked about was learned through him, and a lot of his students do very well with this exact method. He's probably one of the best that I know of using this right now. And so you can apply if you want to apply and speak to his team and talk about joining that mastermind. You can do that with a link down below, or you can start at it and see how it works. There's a list right here. We're going to pop up a video. This is high ticket affiliate programs that you could potentially start trying this out with. So go watch that video if you're interested in taking that step, or go join or apply to join Jacob's mastermind if you really want to learn to master what we've discussed in this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to make money with affiliate marketing, this is the channel to subscribe to. See you on the next video.